Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Migration Matters. In this episode we catch up with Dave Callan and Ian Markos from the South Australian division of the Master Builders Association, and we talk to them about the importance of the Australian migration program to the residential and commercial sector of the building industry in South Australia.
The Master Builders is the oldest employer association for building and construction in South Australia, been around for over close to 130 years now. And my role at the Master Builders is the Director of Operations. So I oversee the operations of the day-to-day operations of the Master Builders. And of course the Master Builders has 2,500 members. Historically, South Australia has performed better and there's been greater activity when we've had growth in population. So if we went back historically and examined those eras when we had dramatic growth in manufacturing, we also had dramatic growth in population to support that. The Master Builders has always had a policy, at least for the last 20 years we've had a national policy of increasing migration into Australia. Basically skilled migration to support our existing skills base so that we can continue to add to those skills bases. We've also supported obviously things like the migration occupations demands list that we keep, that the building trades keep on that list. Also things like the status of South Australia, so that we can be more attractive for migrants to come to South Australia. And we're very much campaigning for those and calling for those type of things to not only maintain but to have South Australia more of an advantage so that we can continue to grow. I think we'll be undergoing skills shortages within 18 months, within 2 years. There has been an excess of skills, but then a lot of people have taken a big breath because we had an immense amount of work undertaken with the Building Education Revolution and those other programs that supported that, with a lot of work being done, infrastructure work being done across local governments, etc. I think what we're going to have within a couple of years, we're all going to be undergoing the skills shortages as the NRAR and then other projects come online, and plus we have a revitalised domestic market.
Everyone attracts to that one major project, then obviously another Tier 1 commercial contractor, for example, will find it hard to source and engage good level contractors or trades to do their work. And with a couple of major developments within the CBD starting at the moment, that's something that they're realising at this point in time. Obviously, if there was more skilled people around via a good migration program, that those people could come in obviously and pick up that work.
Having different conditions for 457s regionally across Australia is vital. It's so important because Australia and the cost of living across Australia, the price of labour across Australia is very different. So there must be some concessions because migrants want to come to Australia. Migrants are very happy to come to Australia. Employers are very happy to employ them, those skilled migrants. However, if they are forced into conform to a national policy, then it makes it very, very difficult for South Australia to compete. So a lot of training has to happen with many of the skilled migrants. Skilled migrants from the UK, they build differently. Skilled migrants from Europe they build differently than we do in South Australia again, so there is some training they have to undertake. But it is these people that we need coming in, working and training to fill up that gap and supplement our skills base. Specifically, some of the things that cause us great concern is the 457 pay requirements, which is a national based model, but in South Australia it's almost pricing some of the 457s out of some of the jobs that they could do. I've got members that say, I can't afford to have that sheet metal worker at $54,000 plus on costs working for me. We need to have so that there is a variation across Australia of benefits and payments to migrant workers depending on where they are working.
We'd be looking at seeing more flexibility so that market rates could be paid where appropriate, obviously, to increase that amount of skilled migrant resource within country regions, increase the population country regions, which then obviously assists and helps build that local country economy.